It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Magical day to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this absolutely magical, robust lifestyle show. I would like to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the many different podcast platforms. I am so very grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And as I said, you are in for one magical show today, as I have with me my returning diva, Gia Raquel, and her and I are going to chat about options for overwhelm. Oh my, how this doesn't fit into each and everyone's life. And with that, Gia, would you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
I would love to, Joyce. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction and for having me on. I'm always thrilled to be a part of your wonderful show and a part of Divas That Care Network. So gratitude all around. My name is Gia Raquel, owner of Air is Above Yoga, and I own a wellness practice is what I'd like to call it. So I'm a private yoga instructor, and I'm also a Reiki practitioner as well. So in and around the tri-state area, but also obviously online, as I believe we've all shifted into that medium at this point in time, whether we wanted to or not. So that's where we are. So it's a wonderful practice that I love to share, helping humans, canines, equines, and any other creature that might need a little bit of love and light in their lives.
Oh, how beautiful. Oh, you are just such an incredible diva, because you are out there doing service to others, and not only in humans, but in animals also, and in person and online, because I've experienced her distant Reiki sessions on my horses, and oh, wow, is all I can say. So it is just incredible. So with that, Gia, I just wanted to add that and let everyone know that you do exceptional work on a distance Reiki, whatever you do, it is incredible. So thank you so much, Gia. And with that, I would like to let you know how you would like to start to share with our listeners about options for overwhelm, because there is so much overwhelming in all of our lives anymore. It seems to be on a lot of people's life. It's a daily occurrence. So what are some ways to give to our listeners some tools and tips to help them to deal with it?
Well, first of all, Joyce, I would like to say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve your beautiful horses, who I just adore. And it's as magical. I hope it's more magical an experience for me, I think, than it is even for them. They're just used to energy, right? We humans, we kind of have to force ourselves to open up to it. They just live in that open place, which is a testament to their true beauty and nature. So just thank you for that experience and for letting me share them with you in that own special way, because it is a blissful and very, very cool experience for me to share energy with another species. You know, it's very unique.
Well, you are so welcome. And my horses, I know, have told me many times, thank you for Gia, because they always love when I say I'm having a show with Gia today, and they go, well, we like her.
Well, I love them right back.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
And, every time we talk, I generally, whatever I have kind of going on that comes up for me is what I like to share with you and your listeners. And I will be very candid. It has been a stressful month since last we spoke. And, I know that it's not just me. I know that everyone that I talk to 9 times out of 10 is going through the same thing. There's a lot of flux. I live in New Jersey. We had earthquakes, there's just a lot of energy. And certainly, with that comes a lot of stress and a lot of a lot of times, even myself especially, kind of they make the joke about the cobblers with bad shoes or the landscapers with the overgrown lawn and, the healers that don't heal themselves, that kind of a thing. So, I think meeting yourself kind of where you are and, recognizing that you have the stress and the overwhelm in your life. And if you just ignore it and kind of plow through it, as I have been known to do, especially if you're an empathetic person and you put others before yourself. A lot of women are that way, right? A lot of us constantly put mothers, fur and otherwise. We had Mother's Day yesterday, right? And it's been a year, actually, I believe, since the first time I came on your show, because we launched Our Mothers, Our Daughters last year around this time, if memory serves.
Yes, you are so right. Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, my. Yes,
so happy
it
anniversary.
is. That's right. Happy anniversary to you, too. I love it.
Thank you. So, we wear so many hats, right, as women, and not just as women, but everyone exhibits their levels of stress. And, as a yoga instructor, as a meditation practitioner and a Reiki healer, one of the things, there are so many different ways to de-stress, and I like to pick and choose whatever you can make happen, because at the end of the day, it needs to be attainable for a person, whether it is carrying a calming crystal in your pocket because you don't have time to meditate that day, whether it is taking, 5 minutes in the morning to do a smaller, gentle yoga practice, whether it is literally taking yogic breaths in your car while you're sitting in rush hour traffic so you don't, jump out of the car and scream at someone. All of these, there are so many different, I'll call them mini modalities, because at least I know for me, with the amount of hats that I wear and the amount of things that I have going on, I feel very, very frazzled. And so I have to pick and choose what is tangible for me in my life experience. And I'm sure that you can resonate with that, Joyce. I mean, I know that you must have so much going on with all of the courses that you take care of, with your animals, with your work. Does that kind of mini modality resonate with something that might be attainable for you?
Oh, yes, totally and completely. Just taking those few moments to just breathe and realize that you are breathing. Take those full, deep breaths and letting them out. Sometimes I'm like, okay, it's just I got to take a few seconds and just breathe and calm things down. And it is amazing how in those many ways you can help reduce stress.
100%. And even so, my favorite, and this is how I always give people the option when I'm teaching a yoga class, is I always say, go into Shavasana, and if you have the ability and the inclination, please lay your legs up the wall. And so you have to get your hips all the way down up against the wall. It's very, very awkward and not at all graceful. But it is one of the most restorative, relaxing asanas that we have, because it literally gives your heart a break, because all of the blood from the legs actually goes up to the heart, just because of gravity. So after a practice, or even a long day, a very dear friend of mine and I used to have conversations when we were feeling stressed out, and said, I need to lie down harder. We're already laying down, but for some reason not enough, so we needed to lay down harder. And I feel like that legs up the wall is just such a beautiful and wonderful and simple way, when you're just feeling like you can't anymore, or you're not feeling supported, having that ground support you, and having that literal, letting gravity support you from one direction and letting the earth support you from the other direction, and letting your heart literally relax or work less hard. That is one of my absolute favorite ways. You do have to have a little bit of time on your hands, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But it's one of my favorite ways. I'm sure it's not the first time I brought it up, but that's a huge one.
Yes.
And if you do have time to practice with yoga, any sorts of forward folds. Another one that I love, and that I've talked to a lot of horseback riders and equestrians about, there's a way to get your hips up on the wall with bent knees, and you rise your sit bones as high up the wall as you can comfortably go while keeping your knees bent, releasing your head towards the floor and either hugging the backs of your legs or letting your arms dangle. And it is such a gentle stretch on the inverse curve of the lower back, and also is very calming. Even seated forward folds, they are all very calming, very restorative. Child's pose, that ability to get your belly and your thighs to touch. It's not about the flexibility of the hamstrings. It's not about the flexibility of the backs of the legs. It is literally about the connection between the torso and the thighs. And I think, I mean, call me crazy, but I think it goes back to that womb connection. I think it's just a very, it's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Forgive me, I'm stumbling, but it's a almost Darwinian response, or you know, it's just very much instinctual.
Yeah. It's just a natural way to kind of calm your body down. And that's what we need, is just simple, natural ways to just calm ourselves down, because yeah, we're all caught up in the 3D world of everything we got to get done. It's, for me, that is probably one of the biggest things, because it's always like, okay, I've got this many minutes, and it's always like we're fighting against that time, trying to make everything happen that we need to do in that 24 hours that we have each and every day. So it's just finding those simple ways to just calm ourselves down. And you're amazed. For me, it's amazing when you take those few moments to just relax and de-stress your body a little bit, how much smoother things flow then. It's like, oh, this wasn't so bad. Oh, I got this done. And at the end of the day, you're going, wow, I did get a lot done today. Look what all I accomplished. So, yeah, it's just, for me personally, it is worth every second that I take to help de-stress my body.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think so those are some physical ways, right? So, because obviously, you know, yoga teacher, I'm going to start with the body, right? But, you know, remember, your body stores it all. So, you know, generally, you know, body carries tension, and obviously body can carry a lot of trauma if you have an injury, et cetera, stress in that way. But your body internalizes all of the stress of your mind too. So, you know, that whole connection between the two, calming the mind down, will also have that kind of parallel effect on the body, and it will start to relax a little bit. Because let's face it, I believe more often than not, people are living in a fight or flight kind of mode. The sheer volume of information that comes up at us on a daily basis, through work, through the news, through social media, through, you know, everything. Even, and I'm blessed to live out in the country, but I mean, imagine when you live in a city, just the sheer volume of input that your senses are receiving on a day-to-day basis is mind-boggling. And so, you know, one of the best ways, I think, to kind of create that mind-body connection and kind of, I'll use the word purge, kind of purge your, the entirety, right, the mind and the body, to bring them together and release all of that stress, is through breath. You know, and I don't know if I really talk about the breathing aspect enough when you and I speak, because there's so much. We always run out of time. But the breathing aspect, right? A year later, I think that's positive. I think that's definitely a positive thing.
Definitely.
But breath, right? But breath work is so very, very important. And one of my favorites, and I will, you know, there's lots of two that come to mind. One is 4 square breathing, and the other is called Nadi Shodhanam, and it's alternate nostril breathing. And what's great about that is it literally connects the left and right hemisphere of the brain. It's not the easiest to describe, so I will do my best to do it. But in essence, you block off one nostril with your thumb, and then you have the other, your ring finger, prepared to block the opposite nostril, and you breathe in through one side. You hold the breath briefly, block the nostril that you just breathed in through, and then exhale through the opposite nostril. And then repeat. So then you inhale through the nostril that you just exhaled from, block it off, and exhale through the other nostril. rinse and repeat. And this literally almost, I don't want to say automatically, but it's almost an automatic de-stressor and kind of a quote-unquote simonize of the left and right hemisphere of the brain. And this is my go-to stressful driving, sitting in traffic breath. This is my go-to, okay, no one can see me, I'm having a moment, and just starting to practice that. And it really is almost like a little mini reset. It brings your mind and your body into sync, and it gives you that moment to really just tune in to yourself wherever you happen to be. So for me, that is probably my all-time favorite yogic breathing technique, because it handles all manner of sins, as it were. And did I explain that? Does that sound like something that you would be able to do based on that eloquent explanation that I just gave?
Oh, yes. It sounds very simple. Yeah, you put it in very easy terms to understand it. And I'm going to try it because that is a new one for me. I love it. You always bring up something in each one of your shows that is something I am learning also. And I just love that. So I made notes and I'm like, I'm going to try this. That's awesome.
No, I love it. And, and that, so like I said, that one's huge for me. And then the other one that I really, think helps is, they call it Foursquare, and it's basically breathing in for a count of 4, holding the breath in for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 4, and the hard part is holding the exhale out again for a count of 4. And again, this is a regulatory breath. It calms the nerves, literally. It calms the senses. It drops you into your body. Now, obviously, disclaimer, if it's hard for you to use a 4 count, you can start with a 2 or 3 count, right? Always don't stop your breath if you need to take a breath. But I found that one to be very, very relaxing as well, and it's another favorite of mine. And I just think that people, I will notice when I'm in stressful situations, I tend to breathe in a very shallow manner, and I think a lot of people are not even aware when they're doing it. And so, like you said at the beginning, it's as simple as taking those deep breaths. It really is that simple, but if you have the tools to take it another level higher, you can really experience some great benefits from these very specific ways of breathing that are, thousands of years old.
Oh, I agree, and I so agree with what you said. I think when we get stressed and are busy, we're breathing so much more shallow, because I've caught myself. I'm like, okay, you're barely breathing. You're just breathing to stay alive, really. And it's like, okay, just calm down and let's get this air really in through your whole body, and let all the other, and when you exhale, let all that negative energy maybe that needs to escape out from you, is how I look at it a lot of times. I'll breathe in and say, let's breathe in the good energy and big deep breaths, and let's exhale out the negative energy that's making you feel all this stress. So yes, I totally agree when you said that we're breathing shallow breaths when we're stressed, because I have experienced that on my own self. And I do believe when you stop and start to realize it and watch your breaths and listen to your breaths, you will realize how different it can be and how much better you will feel by taking those deeper breaths.
And when you were mentioning the shallow breathing and, how you catch yourself, I think that the catching yourself is that mindfulness, that meditation aspect, right? Like that self-awareness is what we try to cultivate in meditation. And I think that we live on autopilot 99% of our day. When we are conscious and we are moving around, there is something to be done. There's something that needs to be taken care of. And our body has an autopilot for a reason. If we're, again, I already threw out the word Darwinian, if we're going back to, how we were designed as hunter-gatherers, we have these automated bodily functions for a reason. They are there to keep us alive when we are in a fight or flight stressful situation going way, way, way back. So now, maybe our fight or flight are not as imminent as they may have been back then, but we still definitely live in that stress response. simply due to the sheer, like I said, volume of input that I don't think we were ever necessarily designed to navigate, or at least, we've evolved, I would imagine, to navigate it. But it doesn't mean that we're as adept as we maybe should be. And so having these tools to kind of take off the autopilot and start to steer your own life, your own body, your own day, your own mind is super important. Obviously, I think it should go without saying that meditation, any form of meditation, walking, traditional, is going to be a stress reliever. Any form of quieting the mind is going to be a stress reliever. So I know we've talked a lot about meditation in the past, and I didn't, that's why I'm mentioning it as another tool, right? One of those options for overwhelm. But it should, I hope that it goes without saying from our year together that meditation is obviously one of the best forms of stress reduction. But you can't necessarily do it while you're driving, and it is something much like the yoga, that you have to set aside time for. But there are things like, for example, I don't talk about it that much, but lavender essential oil, right? There are crystals that you can keep on you if you believe in crystal healing, like things such like amethyst, howlite. There are specific crystals, smoky quartz, that are all good for, bringing in that calming energy, kind of releasing that negative energy like you were talking about with the breath. They're great ways to do it. And then if you have a Reiki practitioner, or if you are a Reiki practitioner, taking, whatever it is, 15, 20 minutes in the morning, or at night, whatever works for you, and just doing a little bit of self-healing. Or if you have a friend, phone a friend and have them do a little distance or hands-on Reiki. That's another beautiful way. Get a massage. I mean, we're talking about self-care essentially. But that's why, you can spend money and you can have someone come and do a Reiki practice, and you can spend money and you can have someone come and do private one-on-one yoga, things that I do. You can also do these little mini freebie things, right? You can go buy yourself a little crystal and keep it in your pocket. You can put it, I know, ladies, this one's for you. If you're having a stressful day, you can take a piece of amethyst or howlite or any crystal that resonates, and you can actually tuck it into your bra and keep it right on your heart chakra all day long. So just little things like that, they don't cost a lot of money. It's just a little bit of an intention that you set, a little bit of awareness for your own stress, your body, your mind. And again, cultivating that self-awareness to remind yourself, oh, right, I need to take care of me too. So I'm going I'm starting to feel shallow breath. I'm gonna practice some breathing techniques, or, I know I'm gonna have a stressful day. Let me put a little bit of lavender oil in my car so I can sniff it while I'm driving. It can be that simple. I even went so far as to buy a little vial of lavender essential oil that's an edible version. And I'll do 1 drop in a water bottle with a little bit of lemon, and it's like a lavender lemonade, and it's delightful. So you can even drink it, right? There are so many different ways, and that's why I like kind of the idea of the mini modalities, so that you're starting to combat it on multiple different levels in multiple different ways, so that maybe you have a chance at even matching the sheer volume of input, stress, overwhelm, things pulling at you, that we as women specifically, and all human beings living in our 2024 existence are in need to, I would say, defend yourselves against, because I do feel like we are kind of being waged, I feel like there's an information war being waged upon us, again, with just all that we have and all that we need to do to process. And I want us to arm ourselves in the most gentle way possible, so that we are able to give ourselves a fighting chance and give our bodies, the love and the care that they deserve.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my. Oh, how true that is. Oh, I love it. To give our bodies the love and care that it so deserves. And just to set that intention and become aware. Just awareness is so important. And just even something so simple as the edible lavender essential oil with lemon in water can have the calming effect. Or just smelling a I've sometimes just put it on like a little cotton ball and even put it in the vehicle with me, and just kind of something calming, just like that. There's so many simple ways. It's just awesome. And Gia, I knew this show would go so very quickly. I cannot believe that we are coming to the end again. I feel like we just started. I looked at it, I'm going, oh my goodness, where did this time go again? Oh, so every time. It never fails. Every time it's like we barely started chatting and the show's almost over. So with coming to the close of the show, I definitely want to ask you if you will return again to my Robust Lifestyle show and share more of the knowledge and tips and tools to help our listeners in every way in this 3D world.
You will have to forcibly stop me. I would love nothing more. This is one of the I look forward to every time we talk. And like you said, we are constantly running out of time. So if you'll have me back, I will be there with bells on.
Oh, awesome.
Actually,
You heard it,
listener.
With
crystals on.
I love that. Be there with crystals on, the calming crystals, and we'll spread that energy across to our listeners. I love it. And then also, could you please share with our listeners the best ways to connect with you, Gia?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So again, my name is Gia Raquel, owner of Airs Above Yoga, which is a wellness practice. And my website is airsaboveyoga.com. My email address is airsaboveyoga@gmail.com. And you can find me on most social media at Airs Above Yoga.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Gia, and I want to wish you magic in each and every day till you and I connect again on Robust Lifestyle Show.
Thank you, Joyce, and may all the magic, love, and wonderment find you each and every day, and your fur babies too.
Oh, you are so welcome, and thank you so much. And I want to thank. Oh, awesome! It was both of our pleasures. We both loved every moment. And with that, I want to thank each one of our listeners for listening to this magical show with our incredible diva, Gia Raquel. Please share this show with your family and friends. And remember to check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And remember some of the simple tips that she left with us. A big one is just self-awareness. Realize when you are in that stressful mind and just quiet that mind and set the intention to quiet it. And something so simple, the tools and tips she left with us, it's just the calming energy with crystals, with edible lavender oil and lemon in a glass of water. What an easier way to calm yourself. And remember, our bodies need that love and care so we can help fill each other's cups up. And with that, I want to wish each one of you a very magical day. Remember, be kind to all, including the animals, and give your animals a great big extra hug and share all your love with them as they so deserve it. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.